What up, y'all? This is Tracy from Nerd Squish, and today we've got a werewolf haul. If you've watched any of my videos before, you know that I am absolutely obsessed with werewolves. It's an addiction. It's a problem. Okay, you've heard it here first. I'm admitting it, and that is the first step to recovery. But with that, you think, oh, she's not gonna talk about werewolves anymore, right? Well, let me tell you something.
But I never go to store.
So I know a lot of people have been looking for a fourth part in my werewolf design judging series, but instead, I think I should share some of my werewolf finds that I have acquired lately because I got 2 shipments in from Amazon and realized both of those items were werewolf items. And then I thought about all the things I've bought recently and I was like, oh, okay, the obsession, it's reached a new level because I had quite a few werewolf items and I figured who would I be if I didn't share those with y'all? Now, before we get into all my treasures, if you're new here, this is Nerd Squish, where we take everything spooky and we take everything nerdy and we squish it all together. So if you like werewolves, horror movies, and pop culture, definitely hit that subscribe button so you can see more videos from us in the future. Okay, I don't know how to start this. Maybe we'll go from like the smallest items to the biggest. That makes sense. Let's do that. Let's start with books because we got a couple of those. The first one is Jughead The Hunger, Volume 1. Now, I'm a huge comic fan and I haven't read a whole lot of Archie. I read a lot of it when I was younger, you know, but I have not read like modern Archie. Now, this is very much a werewolf take on the world of Riverdale. Not the show. Let's not confuse. Well, I say that. I don't know. I don't know how that works these days, if the show and the comics, if they're all linked. I don't know. What I do know is that in this series, Jughead, your boy is a werewolf. And apparently Betty is a werewolf hunter. Say less, I'm in. Like the world of Archie, but with werewolves. That is beautiful. And I'm so excited to dive into this. If anybody has read this series, let me know in the comments because I have absolutely no idea what to expect with this, but very excited. Wow, that's a werewolf attack. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Okay, this next one is a little wild and crazy. Well, is it? I'm just gonna show it to you. I'm gonna rip the Band-Aid off. I may have dived into the world of monster romance. We all knew it was coming. I think it's a path. We saw it, okay? Now, I am not a romance reader, okay? I am a true horror thriller reader. If there's romance in there, great. That's cool. I like love. Love is tight. But I'm not a romance reader. However, my sister went to a book club, and it was a genius idea of it's not a club of everybody reading the same book. Everybody just goes to a location, and they all read their own respective book, and then meet people and talk about what they're reading. And one of the girls that my sister talked to was reading this, Fan Service by Rosie Dannon. So she told me about it because it's about a werewolf and she's like, well, clearly my werewolf obsessed sister needs to know about this. So in this book, you have your dude right here. His name is Devin and he's the star of this like werewolf detective series. And this girl right here, Alex, is like the #1 fan, knows everything about the show. And she meets like the actor, Devin, that plays this werewolf character, and he's terrible. He's not a great person. Turns out the dude becomes a werewolf in real life, just like in the show. But he doesn't know what's going on. And in order to figure out what is going on, who else to go to but the girl that is most obsessed with your TV show? So she clearly knows all about the werewolf lore and everything that's going on. And this is so me-coded, clearly. I know I'm sitting here hating on a romance novel, but if there was ever a book that was so Tracy, and come on, like if this is not the most like big wolf meta thing that you've ever heard of, like this I can't wait. I cannot wait. I am slightly nervous because again, not a romance reader. I've read 2 romance books and they were just, they're not for me. So I'm hoping that in the midst of all the romance of this, there is just like a really cool, clever, fun story. Again, if anybody's read this, sound off in the comments, let me know. Now, while we're on the subject of books, this next item isn't a book, but it is in fact book or bookshelf related. I got this Werewolf Booknook. Now, if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen his handsome little face before, because again, this haul is not stuff that I all went out at once and bought. It's been acquired over time because I'm on a budget, okay? But I got this at Comic Palooza in Houston, Texas, and I have been wanting him for a very long time. I've seen him online, so when I saw this at the booth, I was like, oh my God, come to me. So he just sits in between the books on the shelves with his claws like coming around, grabbing the books, holding them down. And he is just the most handsome thing in the whole world, and I am obsessed with him. All right, this next item is a type of item that I keep telling myself that I'm not gonna buy any more of, and then I see one that I'm just like so obsessed with that character or that movie or that TV show that I have to have it. And yes, of course, I am talking about Funko Pops. The just obsession of this day and age of pop culture and figures. You know, every time you go to a convention, you can't swing a dead cat without hitting a booth that is just littered with Funko Pops. He is, of course, the werewolf from Werewolf by Night. Now, Werewolf by Night killed it. Like, who knew that Disney and modern Marvel could do something good, much less something that was so in tune with classic black and white monsters? And he is the cutest. And I think, you know what? We gotta take him out the box. We gotta get the details. I'm not a person that keeps figures in boxes, unless it's like a figure that like is clearly not gonna stand on its own without a box. I don't collect things because I want to sell them. I collect them because they're my little treasures and my little trinkets that I deserve, because I work hard and I want to be surrounded by weird stuff. I didn't know he was a bobblehead. I thought he was just a standard figure, but he comes with a little clear stand. Look at him, just bobbleheading away. Now, if you'll look at him, he's got all the details that the Werewolf by Night, all his little markings that the character had that moved over into the transformation with him. And he is just the cutest dang thing that I have. Oh, he almost fell over. Come on, little buddy, hang out with us here. He is adorable and I love him. And I can't wait to find a place on my shelf that perfectly displays his cute little face. We have this dude here. Stop. Stop. Why is he so handsome? Over the last couple years for Halloween, one of the big hot items that everybody's trying to track down is these monster-inspired busts. Now, they're not always exactly supposed to look like the Universal monsters, Bela Lugosi, Boris Karloff, right? Some of them do, and some of them, they take a little liberties, right? And this Wolfman is definitely one of them. He doesn't look like Lon Chaney's Wolfman. You can definitely see the inspiration, but in my eyes, he's very much like a modern, distinguished version of Chaney's Wolfman. Disclaimer, I did not get this at TJ Maxx or Home Goods because I did not pay TJ Maxx or Home Goods prices, although those prices are getting a little themselves not TJ Maxx or Home Goods prices. But I got him online. I have been seeing people post pictures of him and he was just nowhere. Okay, they're like, oh, I bought him on Amazon. Go on Amazon, nowhere. So I've been obsessively like every week checking Amazon to see if he's back. Lo and behold, he was back. Had to have him. This is my boyfriend now. Don't tell my husband. He knows. He literally bought it for me. The paint job on him is beautiful. The details are amazing and well worth the money that I paid for it. And I love his little yellow eyes. The greatest thing about his eyes is that at night, with all the lights off, it almost appears as if his eyes are glowing like a werewolf. And it's just, it's perfect. It's perfect. I am so excited to have this dude in my collection. And now we're getting into the vintage portion of the haul. I don't like to refer to anything in my lifetime as vintage. I'm 36. How is anything, maybe it's a little old, maybe a little aged. Vintage feels wrong. I don't like that. Anyway, if you're a millennial like me, you grew up in the 80s or the 90s with just those classic Halloween vibes. And one of the popular things I think everybody's mom had in their house were these motionettes that got very, very popular. And the iconic Halloween sound of the 90s, the you know what I'm talking about. I could have put in a clip here, but clearly my beautiful impression is just, you know, hey, we're gonna work with that. Now, these are, of course, the Telco motionettes that were sold at Walmart, and they had many different versions of them. My mom had the witch, and she, in fact, she had like a little skull, and she had like a broom, and the skull would light up, her eyes would light up, and she'd do this, well, it was more like this, because she's got the skull and she's got the broom, and she would go, that was her jam and her vibe, and that is Halloween to me. So I have always wanted to get some Telco motionettes. I'm like always looking for them when I go to antique stores, vintage toy stores, and never have had luck finding them until I went to the coolest toy store in Texas, Time Warp. This place, they advertise themselves as one of the biggest vintage toy stores in the Texas area, and my God, it is kind of like heaven on earth. I could have done a lot of damage at this store, but I restrained myself. They had 4 Telco motionettes, and I wanted all 4 of them. But the only one that I bought is, of course, the Universal Monsters Wolfman Telco motionette. Look how handsome. For something like this, you never know if you can find good conditions of these things. You know, after all, they are a Halloween decoration. People store them in their garages and in their attics, and certainly in the South, you do that, those things aren't gonna last very long. You know, they've got a lifespan. So, this guy was in a box. The box that he came in was a little on the nasty side, so I ultimately did throw away the box. Gave him a little, you know, wipe down. Not that he was very dirty, but he's in beautiful condition, and he works. So, a demonstration is in order. All right, there's just his motion. Oh yeah, he's getting down. And then prepare yourself for the sounds of Halloween. Now, not the iconic 90s. He's just howling. It's beautiful though. Listen. All right, little buddy. You did good. I am so obsessed, cannot believe that I found one not only in physical, just great condition, but one that actually has the sound and the motions working. Do I want all the rest of them? Yes. Yes, I do. So, Texas Time Warp, if you still have them, I'm coming for you. And I will buy them all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the last item, and probably the just like wildest, coolest, most unique item in this haul. I'm so excited. Can you guess what it is? Guess what it is in the comments right now before I show it to you. Okay, you done? I don't even know how this is gonna pick up on camera. Okay, let's see. I might have to back up a little bit here. Oh yeah. Now what we have right here is in fact the Coors Light Beerwolf Mirror. Now in the 80s, Beerwolf was the man, okay? He was out here slinging Coors, hanging out with Elvira, and he was the official mascot of Coors, especially come Halloween time. And he is just the cutest dang thing, and like, I'm sorry, beer doesn't advertise like this anymore, okay? The date on this bad boy is 1986, and I'm just saying, 2025, what you got? Because it's, boo, I'm not feeling it. These are the vibes I'm looking for. I want to go to a dive bar, and I want this, okay? I want to play pool and drink a Coors as I'm just looking at this handsome face. And I want all the Beerwolf items. Specifically, the poster of Beerwolf with Elvira, because if that is not me and my husband, I don't know what fictional characters would be. I have been looking for this mirror for a long time, and obviously, because it's 1986, it's something very fragile. They're hard to come by in good condition for a good price. But I stock this on eBay from time to time, and it paid off because I found him for under $100, and I am obsessed. Like, obsessed doesn't even begin to cover how I feel about this Beerwolf Mirror. Actual beer history. Up in Casa de Nerd Squish. How you like that? Alright, so that is everything in my werewolf haul, and my god, I have to say I think this is my favorite haul that I have ever done in my life, and that's strong words, because I have had a lot of book hauls and Halloween hauls that have just been juicy, but nothing compares to this. And on the note of me obsessing over werewolves and werewolf content, I do plan on putting some more wolfy content out soon. I'm thinking, obviously, I need to put out the 4th part of the werewolf design series because everybody's been asking for it, and it is just such a fun video to do. I am also thinking about doing a dive into Beerwolf and Coors Light and how that relationship worked and what that looked like in the 80s. So if you would like to see something to kind of nerd out about some like beer history, let me know. Now that I'm sitting here talking about this, I'm debating a reading vlog for fan service. I haven't done a lot of reading vlogs. In fact, I've only done one for the Animorph series, and I had so much fun putting that video together, and it shows because I think that is one of the most popular videos that I still to this day get comments on. So if you'd like to see a reading vlog of me diving into the world of monster romance with fan service, let me know. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so when new videos hit the channel, you'll be notified. And as always, thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch you nerds later!